read you to sleep. I'm going to be reading Handbook for the Heart edited by Richard Carlson and Benjamin Shea. Foreword by John Gray, PhD. Love has become the holy grail of our time. People want more of it, suffer from lack of it, and search for it all their lives. This book, Handbook of the Heart, dwells on this quest for love and provides the skills we need on our path. In these pages, the leading practitioners on the matters of the heart examine the many facets of the diamond of love, enabling us to fulfill our deepest longings. For many of us, the difficulty in our relationships is because we have had to adjust to a cultural transition from an old form of coupling it to a new way. In the past, people sought marriage partners primarily to create a family and to ensure security. Men worked outside of the home. Women raised children. Both parents expected the children to help with the work and take care of them when they were old. Now, however, men and women are more self-sufficient and less dependent on each other for security and survival. Men can raise children, and women hold jobs. As a result, men and women increasingly seek out each other to fulfill long-denied emotional needs. Therefore, the basis for marriage has changed. We marry not for survival, but for the satisfactions of intimacy. Ironically, the reason for so many divorces today is that people want more love, not less. Many feel that their desires for love must be met in order to stay with their partners. We yearn to feel loved, admired, and appreciated, not just leaned on for financial security. Once people are able to support their families, they can focus on the quality of their shared connection. New meaning and purpose in life emerges in establishing heartfelt bonds. Handbook of the Heart helps you remove the blocks to achieving deep loving relationships. To attain such love, we must be sensitive to the love we need and know how to get, as well as how to give the love our partners need. Thus, we must have better forms of communication than those used by our parents. We have to be able to articulate those needs as both we and our partners change over the course of time. It used to be that men and women lived in different worlds without even attempting to share their innermost thoughts and feelings. My mother, for example, never expected my dad to be a great conversationalist. Today, men and women have to learn how to negotiate with respect. In today's world, men are no longer responsible for simply one area, the budget, and women another, e.g. the social schedule. As women are earning more in the income needed to raise a family, they want to have more of a say in how money is spent. And men want to participate in the planning of their leisure time. The ascendance of love in our relationship also creates a great capacity for romance and the nurturing of children. Again, in the past, the concept of love was different. A sense of caring grew out of loyalty and shared history. Romance was not important or expected to endure. It was considered loving to sacrifice yourself for your partner. Today, people are no longer willing to stay together in a life of sacrifice. If we sacrifice who we are in a relationship, we lose touch with ourselves and our feelings. To us, loving means passion, partnership, romance, and good communication. Feelings have become enormously significant. Love, intimacy, and closeness are more important than ever before. To fill my life with love, I prioritize and carry out the most important acts that create love in my marriage. I've learned it's usually the little things that make a difference. My wife and I have long, loving rituals, things we do that the other appreciates. For example, when I'm driving my car with my wife, I always slow down at yellow lights and stop. She's grateful because she knows that when I'm driving alone, I often run yellow lights. I even say to her, "I did that for you, honey." She usually replies with a chuckle and says, "Thank you very much." Another example is that even after 10 years of marriage, I still bring home fresh cut flowers. It's the little things that keep romance alive. With my children, I make sure that I create plenty of uninterrupted time with them. when we're doing fun things. I've taught my children that if they need my full attention when I'm busy, they can always pull on my pant leg and I will stop what I'm doing to listen to them. Also, when I travel, I remember to bring them back from something from my trip. A tiny token, anything to make them feel special. The little things that say I care are the most effective in feeling a life with love. One way I make sure to get my own emotional needs met is to take time for activities I enjoy. Even when my wife thinks we need quality time together, if I'm not in the right mood, I take time to be alone, although I assure her that later we can have our time together too. When we give ourselves first, we have more to give to our relationship and family. So many people, under the illusion of being nice, sacrifice too much of who they are, and thus lose their ability to truly love and get the love they need. People suffer from not realizing how vital love is to them. Love is an essential vitamin, especially in a society that emphasizes efficiency, productivity, and virtual reality. Many times, the absence of love causes our frustrations, anxieties, illnesses, and fatigue. People don't realize what they are missing. Handbook of the Heart offers a refuge from the busyness of life and illuminates the joys to be gained from love. To read this book, to hear the words of people who have made in their life's work to define what love is, to articulate how we can most successfully express, give, and receive love is of immense value and an extraordinary gift. Handbook of the Heart will affect your life in innumerable positive ways as it has mine. Introduction. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. If you were given one wish for our world, what would it be? Ours would be quite simply that each and every one of us could feel peace. And we believe that the gift of peace begins with hearts filled with love. Who among us does not desire more love in our lives? And who among us hasn't sighed and pushed ahead with the busyness of our day of our lives, letting the opportunities of love slip away? A hug from a child is shortened to take a phone call. A friend is seldom contracted because of distance. A compliment from a mate goes unacknowledged. For a question about a bill, a favorite charity is pushed to the back of our minds for later. It seems the truly important, heart-connecting moments are so often neglected, and all of our lives are made smaller. We know we want and we need love to both give and receive in full measure, but do we slow down and allow more love into our lives when inner and outer pressures detract us from our heart's deepest desires? There are many extraordinary individuals who have dedicated their lives to answering just that question. With the knowledge that such role models exist, we ask them directly for specific and practical advice and guidelines on filling our lives with love. How? We ask them, do you do it? So the idea for this book was born. We created a wish list of possible participants, individuals who have been teaching us and much of the world about love for many years, people who have earned the reputation of experts on love. Sometimes we had doubts. Would these wonderful teachers be willing to share their knowledge in an original single compilation? In the end, though, we let our willingness to take the chance and our need to know rule, and we went forward. We invited each teacher to discuss his or her own way of filling life with love, almost without exception. The individuals we approached agreed to share their wisdom and insights into why we need to fill our lives with love, and most important, how we can do it. We were rewarded by our greatest imagination. The depth of sincerity of each of the participants is overwhelming. We saw up close how each contributor makes an honest and true effort to walk her walk, to practice what he preaches. Never before have we met and worked with individuals so completely and sincerely dedicated to a loving existence. The peaceful spiritual leader Mahatma Gandhi once said, "My life is my message." We believe that the same thing is true for each of the participants in this book. Each of them is a unique and personal way. Tell us with certainty how the heart is the fundamental source of our connection with all of life. Love, giving and receiving from the heart, involves compassion, stillness, gratitude, peace, intimacy, and relationship with others, and service. From the perspective of the authors of this collection, love is the only true measure of our success in life. Nothing else ultimately matters. As Mother Teresa quoted in one of the articles, we cannot do great things, we can only do small things with great love. Creating this small thing, this original anthology, is for us an act of great love, for ourselves, for each other, for our families, and for you, our readers. We'd like to thank all the contributors for the richness they have contributed to our own lives and to the lives of so many millions. This project, these writings, these people have changed and enriched our own lives in a profound and remarkable ways. We wish this most of all for you, that you too will find new ways to bring love into your life, and that you find the peace of a love-filled heart brings from the heart. Benjamin Shield, PhD. Richard Carlson, PhD.